Hello, I'm Ellen from ellenercolini.com, and I'm here to talk about avoiding the social media time suck Facebook edition. Facebook can seem so wonderful for business owners. Not only are our friends and family on there, but lots of potential clients. There's lots of networking groups. There are lots and lots of ways for you to connect with your ideal clients and build real, meaningful, lasting relationships on there. It is an access point that is unlike any other that we've had in, I want to say, the history of the world. I don't want to be proven wrong because, again, this is the internet. You never know, but it's big. It's big and it's different than how businesses were able to connect with their people, 5, 10, 15 years ago. And sometimes it can be overwhelming and take up all of your time and all of your mental sanity. So I have a couple tips here to help you use Facebook for good and not for evil. So the easy fixes are to batch your time. Block social media and block Facebook with an app on your computer where it limits the amount of time you're allowed to access those sites. And when you're on those sites, only respond to people who have talked to you. Go through, add your comments to people who have messaged you or said hey, or that they liked your post or whatever, and then sign off. Don't scroll. Don't spend forever going through group messages. Just walk away. But that's not very realistic. And this would be a very weak sauce article if that's as far as we took you. So my first tip is to be active in just a few groups. There are a million billion groups you could be involved with in Facebook, and I would really recommend picking 3, 4 tops and become an active member. Become somebody whose name and icon people start to recognize as you comment. And you want to be helpful. You do not want to do drive-by sales pitches. You do not want to plaster your offer or your service or your mastermind or your retreat in 6 different groups within 10 minutes on Facebook. It looks overly salesy, and it looks like you're really looking at people like they're ATMs and not like they're people that you could be really helping and engaging with. So pick a few groups and engage in them in a meaningful, helpful way that helps people get to know you and understand your point of view and how you might be able to help them in the future. Tip number 2, be mindful of your words. Everything can live forever on the internet, and people don't have a sense of nuance or tone or sarcasm or whatever on the internet. It's read, almost imagine it, your words are being read like a robot voice. No matter how many exclamation points or hearts or smiley faces you put in there, it's going to come across as dry. Or you should prepare for it to come across as dry. So you want to really choose your words wisely. And you want to also choosing your words wisely. It's not just for tone, which is easy to misconstrue on the internet or in any text-based communications. But choosing your words in terms of what you're telling people and when you're telling them that. I've seen a lot of really wonderful people in the last couple of months get super excited about ideas that they've had and share them preemptively with their communities, with groups that they're part of, and then people either get really excited or they have a lot of questions, like they react to it, like they have a reaction, and then that business person is like not ready to deal with or harness that reaction yet, and they kind of have fallen back on, they're like, I was just sharing, which is great, but the words they were using made it seem like it wasn't just sharing, like they were debuting something or that they were making really big claims or promising things. And all of that there's a time and a place, and it's really important, but if it's not the right time and place, it can also be really double-edged sword-y because people get a little fussy about that. So really pick your words. If you're writing a big post, if you're doing, a promo or an update or a celebration to a bigger group, like just give it a once-over and make sure that it's something that, if somebody didn't know you at all, which most people on Facebook don't, they would be able to understand what you were saying and why it matters. The third piece, when it comes to using Facebook for good, not evil, talks about protecting your emotional sanity. There's a million billion people on Facebook. That's a technical term. And there's a lot of conversations you could get involved with, especially as a business owner. There are no shortage of conversations that you could participate in, either from the business building side or talking to your ideal clients or other people who have similar businesses to yours discussing the ins and the outs of the industry. And often where I see the people getting the most crazy is when they are trying to convince somebody of something they do not want to be convinced of, where somebody was just venting or even complaining, but it's very clear that they are not interested in learning or being open or changing their mind. They really just want to vent or complain in a public space so they feel seen and heard. And then I see people come on the comments and, very thoughtfully try to help them or support them or educate them or give them resources or whatever, and the person is not open to hearing it. And then they get in a fight, and the person who was trying to help feels all pissy and defensive because they were just trying to help, and the person who was posting feels equally pissy and defensive because they weren't really asking for that. So choosing your conversations wisely and really looking at, is the other person open? Are they asking? Or am I just, putting what I think I should say or what I want to say onto this conversation? And so for you, dear reader and watcher and listener, choose your conversations wisely and be of service. And of course, bring your point of view to important and interesting conversations, but also protect yourself a little bit. Like, you don't need to answer every single question on the internet. You don't need to participate in every single business building discussion out there. Pick and choose the ones that are meaningful to you, that you feel like you'll be able to make a positive impact in. Okay, thanks for watching. I will be talking to you next week. If you want more money-making, business building strategy, head on over to ellenercolini.com.